So we're going to talk about how to protect your energy, and this is something that I don't think has ever been more pertinent, more important than now. For a multitude of reasons, this shift in consciousness is bringing the darkest of the dark, but also the lightest of the light. So controlling where we're at frequentially, vibrationally, where our energy is at, is so important, so that we are not negatively affected by the lower forces. So first of all, most important is keeping your vibration high, because when you're in a high vibration, the things that are not of the light, the darkness, is powerless to the light, because you're in existentially different places. The light is up here, the darkness is down here. The light is real, it's all that is real. And the darkness is not real in and of itself. It exists in this plane of duality, in this 3D dimensional reality, but it doesn't have inherent power. It's only lack of light. So when you are in a place of light, in a high frequency, you are essentially untouchable by the darkness. So this is the number one way to protect your energy. And we keep our vibration high there's many things you could do. You can be mindful of what you're thinking. Thoughts are vibration too. So not letting your mind just run rampant and run off in these negative stories and worrying. So just honing in on the control of the mind a little bit. Trying to actively guide the direction of them. Are they moving in a better feeling direction? Are they moving closer to truth, closer to love? Or are they moving in a fearful direction, closer to that which is not true, in a more powerless direction? It's very easy to let the mind just do what it wants to do, but it's important to reel it back in, take control. You are the master of your mind, and the mind has a lot of power if you let it have power. So taking control in that realm is very important. So watching your thoughts. Also meditation, extremely important. Taking that time you don't have to not think. We have brains. It's natural for thoughts to come in and out. But slowly, as we raise our vibration, the content and the quality of these thoughts will start to change, because when you're in a higher frequency, the thoughts that will come into your vibrational field will be of a match to that frequency. So meditation, what that does is takes a little break from the incessant chatter of the mind, and gives your soul an opportunity to come forth and be heard by you. So meditation can look different for everyone, but what I find the most important is always having a mental focal point, whether that's your breath, focusing on your breathing, whether that's a visual focal point, focusing on a candle flame or anything in front of you, focusing on an audible focal point. Maybe it's a fan, an air conditioner, some sort of a background hum that you can focus on, a part of your body. You can focus on the entirety of your head. You can focus on one of your toes. But choosing a focal point to keep focused on as much as you can, and anytime you think, come back to this focal point. You'll have a thought, come back to the focal point. Over time, that space between thoughts will become longer and longer, and the energy of your soul will have an opportunity to come forth. And over time, and it doesn't take much time, because the energy of the light, the energy of your soul, is so much more powerful than a disconnected place. So giving your soul that opportunity to come through, even if it's 10 minutes a day, can change your entire life in a short period of time. So meditation, very important. Getting out into nature. Mother Earth is going through this consciousness shift as well. And by soaking up the electrons coming from the earth, taking off your shoes, grounding, walking barefoot, going for walks, hugging a tree, being in nature, extremely healing, because as I said, we are shifting with Mother Earth, and we can help calibrate to this higher vibration, this higher vibrational place that we are going to by being in nature, because nature is doing it naturally with less resistance, because nature doesn't have a brain. So being in nature, watching what you're watching on TV. What are you watching on TV? What kind of movies are you watching? What is the messaging in what you're watching? What kind of music are you listening to? What is the messaging in the music? What is the hertz of the music? There's a lot of music that is chaotic in frequency, and that chaotic energy affects our frequency as well. So I like to listen to music that's set to 528 hertz or any other frequency that is uplifting rather than chaotic. So in addition to these things, watching your mind, watching what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're eating, of course, eating foods that have life in them rather than processed foods. Visualizations that you can do as well are, I'll give you a few. So one that I do a lot is I'll close my eyes, I'll visualize that there are mirrors surrounding my energy field, and these mirrors are facing outward. And what I do is when I visualize these mirrors, I see and feel and know that they are there, because your mind is powerful. You have decided that they are there, thus they are there. It is real. The mirrors are facing outward, and I am intending, while I'm doing this, that all that can come through these mirrors is the energy of love and light. All that is not of the love bounces back off of the mirrors and returns to its source. So whether these are dark entities around you, whether these are people thinking negatively about you, whatever it is, all that can come through these mirrors is love. That's a very powerful visualization. Another one you could do is you could surround yourself by a bubble of light, and this bubble could have light of any color. I usually visualize white because it encompasses all of the colors, but you could visualize pink, blue, whatever it is. But the primary way that this visualization functions is through your intention. So knowing that your mind is actually creating this bubble, it's literally there, and intending that what this bubble is to do is to protect your energy field. So it's the intention behind these visualizations that give them their functionality. So, but first, like I said, knowing that you have the power to do this is very important, so you're not just thinking random things, because you do have this power. And if you are to be able to see the greater spectrum of light that the common human eye can see, you would see this bubble of light. It is actually there when you visualize it to be there. And then same thing, I intend that all that can come through this bubble of light is that of the love, that of light. All that is not of the light cannot enter this force field, this bubble that I have created. So those are a few ways that you can protect your energy. I'd say the most important is just staying in a high vibration, because you're untouchable at that point. There's no need to do a visualization because you're inherently protected. You're walking in the light. You're walking as your higher self, as your soul. And there's no need to do any external protective measures. But it can be hard to always be in a high vibration. We're in an experience, a human experience of duality. There is darkness. There is also light. It's not always easy to just stay high vibe. So yeah, try these out. Let me know.